Hello everyone, this is the Insane Game Freak here. I don't know what the fuck this is. Apparently I'm the puppet master. I'm making everybody motherfucking dance, son. Because I'm a genius, whatever. So this is the video that I've been kind of going back and forth with myself on whether I wanted to make or not. And tonight I was just kind of like, fuck it. I feel like it needs to be made because there's been a lot of, because stupid shit has been said and things have also been completely misconstrued and points don't seem to be making sense anymore. So, because I genuinely don't give a fuck right now. I say right now because obviously people's opinions and minds can change. This is mainly addressed to Real Gamer 27 and Active Sin Gaming. Primarily because there's this little argument going on about this port situation that I feel like a few things need to be cleared up and clarified, because there's definitely a fucking problem here. You can tell Real Gamer 27 and Active Sin, more so probably Real Gamer 27, has issues with like Mizza T, Terminator Juice, Active Gamer Life in terms of this whole argument on whether, because there's been a lot of rumors about a lot of Wii U games getting ported onto the Switch, and this argument between the groups of like whether this is a good thing or not, or whether they want ports or not. And it seems like there's a misunderstanding of what the fucking argument is, because for some reason they think it's just an argument of they don't want, Wii U fans don't want Wii U games on the Switch because they love the Wii U and they're Wii U weirdos. The one thing I hate about Real Gamers is how he talks about how he's like trying to be respectful and shit, but he also calls Wii U fans losers, and then he tries to make this clear distinction about how Nintendo fans aren't Wii U fans. Like, you're going out of your way to insult a part of the Nintendo fan base because you don't agree with what they're saying. It doesn't. How does that make you a better person at all? It's fucking ridiculous. But the problem is that that the argument was never about whether or not it was a smart business decision. I think everybody I've seen make videos agrees that in terms of business decisions, I think except for maybe Terminator Juice. Terminator Juice and maybe Active Gamer Life, I don't believe are good businesses. They don't think that they're good business decisions. But for the most part, everyone agrees that it's a good business decision. I personally believe it's a good business decision because you can look at Sony's situation, who had less reason to do it and still made money off of it. So I can see why, and I can understand why, and I'm not mad that they're making the ports. The problem is that for some reason these two guys think that that's all it boils down to. It's that you're mad that your precious Wii U is a piece of shit and that all the good games from the Wii U are getting ported. That wasn't the problem. The two problems with this, for one, according to the rumors, the majority of the Switch lineup right now is fucking ports. That's the first problem. The second problem is that certain games are arguably be worse on the Switch, which Active Sin apparently doesn't understand because he doesn't play Wii U games even though he bought the console twice. Fuck. So to give you an example, just to kind of go through the rumors, and I think I've talked about this in a previous video. Let's talk about the Wii U games getting ported. I believe it's Mario Kart 8. I'm talking about the ones that have been rumored. Mario Kart 8, Xenoblade, Splatoon, Mario Maker. Who am I missing? I'm missing one. I had it on the top of my head and I completely forgot. I'm looking at my list right now. A stack of games because I think I own every game that was getting ported. Oh, Smash Brothers. That was the other one. And then we recently got the Lego City port that's coming. I think it's, and then I don't count Zelda because Zelda technically is a new game. But that's like 6 games, and then like the new games from Nintendo we've heard of, and then obviously, and then if I count Skyrim or a fucking NBA game, those are ports. So that's 8 ports I've already mentioned. And then let's think about all the confirmed Wii U games. We have the Mario Rabbids game and the Mario 3D Mario. You have Zelda, I guess, Pikmin Reboot, and Pokemon Stars, which is 5 games. Those are the main 5 we've heard about. It's the 2 Marios, Zelda, Pokemon, Pikmin. It's 5 games compared to like the 5 Wii U titles. That's half. You're telling me half of the fucking library is ports. And then what makes it worse is that if you look at the supposed leaked release dates for these games, well, only the 2 Mario games are coming out at launch, which is the 2 new games, the 2 new Mario games, the RPG and the 3D game coming out at launch. Zelda doesn't come out until fucking summer, and then fucking Pikmin doesn't come out until fall, which I think is around, and then around the holidays when Pokemon comes out. So you're still getting games spread out in the same kind of way the Wii U system games are spread out in terms of release dates. So what am I excited about? The ports of the third-party games that I could be playing right now? The fuck? I mean, we've already been through this argument about how most Nintendo owners own like either a PC, an Xbox One, or a PlayStation 4. So what the fuck am I excited about games that I can currently play right now? You know, you want to talk about Skyrim and NBA and Lego City, but I can play Lego City on the Wii U. I can play NBA right now on my PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, and I can play Skyrim on my PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So what the fuck am I excited about? That's the first part of the argument that people, they're not getting. The issue, that's the first problem, is that half of the lineup, and then when you go back to the interview Kimishima had where he's like, oh, we took the game out of holiday, we took the Switch out of the holiday and put it in March because we were worried about game lineup. You're worried about game lineup and like half of your fucking lineup are ports. Ports supposedly don't take that long to develop, and I would think they take less time than fucking AAA games. What kind of logic is that? The second issue was in terms of some of these games' life cycles. Splatoon was made in like a year, and it'll be about 2 years when the Switch comes out. So of course people are like, well, wouldn't I rather have a sequel to Splatoon, knowing how quick of a turnover the first game was? Why the fuck am I looking for a Switch port instead of a sequel? That's the other issue. It's the fucking sequel argument. Some of these games, and then people in Active Sin keep saying this stupid shit about how it took 5 years to come out with a new Mario Kart. Dude, you do realize Mario Kart 7, which is where a lot of Mario Kart 8's mechanics come from, came out in 2011, and Mario Kart 8 came out in 2014. It's 3 years. And, oh, let's think about it. It came out in 2014. In 2017, when the Switch comes out, oh, wait, that's another 3 fucking years. Especially considering now their development teams are bunched together. It's not separate handheld and console anymore. It's the same damn team working on the same damn games. So you have more people working on the same game, and the turnover rate for fucking Mario Kart games is like 3 fucking years. So what are you talking about? Oh, well, this is just to hold you over. Well, the argument is I should be getting Mario Kart 9. I shouldn't be getting a fucking port of Mario Kart 8. Now, obviously, these are still rumors and these are still up in the air. We're just going off the rumors because that's the fucking argument currently. It's based off these damn rumors. So that was the second fucking thing, is that not only are half of the library is ports, or over half of the library will be ports, at least for the games we know of right now, but also we should be getting sequels at this point. It was never about ports in general because we've gotten ports on the Wii U. It wasn't the port argument. And then obviously you have to throw in the Wii U shade, and this is the thing I hate about both of these dudes, is that fucking, oh, well, it's open season part 2 on the Wii U again, because why the fuck not? Because you know, if you wanted my personal opinion, I think this is partially, they're even running on this shit, is primarily, because realistically also, for guys who own the Wii U, what are you excited about ports? And I guess the third thing was whether or not these games are going to play better on the Switch or the Wii U, which is still a debatable argument right now. Because even if the Switch version of these games get more shit, the argument is still whether they'll play better or not. For example, I'm going to use Splatoon, at least in terms of controls, because, hey, a lot of people like playing with gyro. A lot of people in competitive Splatoon play with gyro, which is obviously what they were marketing to when they put Splatoon in the damn Switch reveal trailer, is the competitive scene. We don't know if any of these controllers have gyro yet. That's a fucking issue. Mainly for the main reason that you can't argue with. It was an option I had in the Wii U version that I don't have in the Switch version, but the Switch version is better? Huh? How? And then you look at something like Xenoblade. Xenoblade, which now is cumbersome, has a cumbersome map. The way that map was set up was tailor-made for this fucking gamepad. The map system, people would say Xenoblade was one of the better uses of the gamepad. So now I have to go from the cool touch and I can just teleport bullshit to going through a menu, moving the fucking analog stick around to find the damn part of the map I want to teleport to and then click it. You know what was fun about Xenoblade on the Wii U? That if I was in a shitty situation, I literally just had to click a button and teleport. I just had to like tap and I was gone. Here it's like start, and then considering Xenoblade didn't necessarily stop you from playing the game when you pause the screen, because you could still go in the menus and still play the game, I'm sitting there trying to scroll through menus and I could be getting attacked trying to just teleport out of the situation. Granted, it's not like it's the most cumbersome thing in the world, but the argument is just the fact that how is it better? How is that better than just tapping the screen and teleporting? Now, obviously, not every Wii U game was tailor-made to that degree where it would be that big of a deal. For example, Smash Brothers doesn't even use the touch screen. That would be a perfectly fine point. But my argument is that some of these Switch games aren't necessarily going to be better if they don't fucking optimize the game for it. And then even then, I lose my second screen I lose my dual screen experience anyway. So something like Mario Maker isn't even going to flow as well as it does on the Wii U, where I can fuck around with my shit, press A, and then play the damn level. Now, if I want to do that, I have to make a fucking decision. Play it handheld only, but I lose my dual screen, or play with a controller and play with a cumbersome controller. And half the reason why Mario Maker was appealing as a game was because I could use a touchscreen and then play it right afterwards. That was one of the best examples of the Wii U's gamepad usage. And that's a game that will be, at this point, if it is true, is being ported to the Switch, will have been ported 3 fucking times, because I think it comes out like this tomorrow. It comes out Friday on the fucking 3DS, minus like online features, but you get my fucking point. So that was the argument. The argument had nothing to do with whether we should have ports or not, because ports are fine, and we've had ports before. The argument was, most of these games are around the time where they should be having sequels, not fucking ports. Whether these ports would be better, and that ports are making up the majority of the lineup of the current release games coming out. Those were the 3 major fucking points, and for some reason it turned into Wii U weirdos who don't want more games. The fuck? How did you misconstrue that? How did you go from fucking? You went from like the side of sanity where you're taking some Tylenol pills for a headache and went full on. I don't have anything that really represents the same. I guess I have this fan. This is the fan of insanity, where everything's just spinning around in a clusterfuck. That's the fucking problem. You went from fucking point A to point Z and said, "Oh shit, how did I get here? Wii U fans are weird, dog." And once again, it's that whole distancing themselves from the Wii U fandom. You own both of you, if I remember correctly. Active Sin, I think you bought it fucking twice. You own a Wii U. You had like, so I'm like, how excited are you for Switch variations of the same games you've been playing? Because remember, the Wii U has no games, so you've been playing these same games for years now. You really want to play them again with just a few extra bells and whistles? Apparently you fucking do. And then also gets into the hypocrisy, because you two are a part of that group who were so hard on the Wii U, but are excited for games getting ported to it, although you kept calling the console so dog shit. But the console's dog shit, but it's making up the library of your new favorite Nintendo console. You're so excited for the Switch, but the dog shit console's games are making up currently half of the fucking lineup of games for the Switch. That's the other part. And it just got stupid. I don't know with like what Gamer at Large are saying. I'm pretty sure they're anti-ports too. I don't know if it's for the same reason, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that's what the situation is. But it's so fucking stupid to sit there with this dumb ass sense of arrogance, especially considering how hardcore Nintendo defenders you guys were when the Wii U first came out, to try to act like you're so much better. It's like a false sense of arrogance that comes from fucking nowhere. You're like the fucking lion. You're gathering courage from like a ditch in the middle of the fucking desert. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's frustrating because it's not only that you're not getting the point, but you've completely gone into a different direction with your argument. Well, what the fuck was the argument had nothing to do with whether ports in general are bad. The argument was, why the fuck would I want a port when I could get a sequel? Because for some reason, you're such Nintendo fans, but you didn't understand that Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8 had like I think it was like a 3 to 4 year gap in terms of when they were released, and that was before. I guess I would argue. I guess that's before. I'm not 100% sure. That was either before or during the new joint developer situation. So what the fuck are you talking about in terms of, it's going to take another 5 years? That sounds like a fucking fanboy defense to me. It's going to take another 5 years for Mario Kart. And weren't you the same guys that were sitting there talking about, well, they shouldn't be taking this long for games anyway? That was the problem with the Wii U. It had a whole bunch of droughts. Nintendo has to make these games faster. We waited a whole console generation for Zelda, guys. But you have no problem. So ports work as a decent buffer to you. And then also, and this gets into the last thing I'll address for this, is that you're also the same group of guys talking about how Nintendo doesn't have the same market share. They don't have the same mind share as they used to. They're not as big on top dogs as they used to be. They need to treat their consumers better when they were talking about the anti-consumer practices with like the online, which is arguably to me nowhere near as bad as people like to say it is, but whatever. The online was bad, quote unquote. The way they treat their customers, the amiibo dislock content bullshit, like no voice chat, the censorship. You want to talk about all that shit about how to treat the Wii U, treat the Nintendo fans who still support you better, and then they come out with the Switch, and the first thing they do is burn the Wii U fan. Because if you own the Wii U, you essentially are now getting the same games you already played. And considering the Wii U didn't have the biggest pickings of games to begin with, you probably have played at least most of these games. Isn't this is technically burning the Wii U consumer? That's the problem with ports. They always burn the dedicated fan. If I bought Last of Us on the PS3 and I bought a PS4, guess the fuck what? I gotta buy Last of Us again. It ain't like Sony's cutting me a fucking check for $30 or $60 to get the game for free because I bought it on the PS3 a year before. No, motherfucker, you gotta buy the game again. So how does that make sense? That doesn't make any fucking sense either. It's a whole bunch of random. It's like these guys were just spouting a whole bunch of bullshit and were like, "Well, this makes sense. I know what I'm talking about." The fuck you do? You don't know shit. You're the fucking podcast. You sit there and you try to fucking play dick stroking contests with the idea of, oh yeah, we're the real Nintendo fans. We care about Nintendo's future. And those Wii U weirdos over there, because you see, you have to do that. Because if you don't distance yourself, you might actually listen and hear something that you may or may actually agree with. And you can't have that because you want to show that you're the real Nintendo fan. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Oh my god. Ports are fine. I just don't think, but if we're gonna shit on Sony, who had less of a reason to do it with the PlayStation 4 era, Nintendo doesn't automatically get a pass. Now, am I sweating if it has ports? And I think I'll say what I said in the At the Gamer Life podcast. I don't care if there's ports. There just better be enough new games. If we see Retro's game, if we see even a teaser of like Beyond Good 2 and Evil or some shit, Bayonetta 3, if we get new games with the ports, I don't give a fuck. At all. I don't give a fuck. I didn't even, unlike some people, I didn't even buy the Wii U at launch. I bought the Wii U in like the middle of 2013 because I was waiting for Rayman Legends, because I was waiting for Pikmin 3, because I was waiting for Mario 3D World, because I was waiting for Sonic Lost World. I bought the console because there were games I wanted to play. New games. The only port I think I have is Zelda. And that's because I don't play Zelda games. That's how I feel personally. As long as I got new shit, I don't care if there's ports. Not because and this will be the one thing I really do disagree with Juice about, which is the whole holding Nintendo to a higher standard. There's no reason to do that in terms of anything else other than their game quality, because holding them to a higher standard doesn't get Nintendo anything. It's like, oh, Nintendo included backwards compatibility with their console. Well, Microsoft did it like 2 years later, a year or two later, and got praises up and down the motherfucking walls for it. Nintendo was just sitting over in the corner like, we been had it. It's kind of like how, oh well, Sony's PlayStation 4 was $400 in comparison to fucking Microsoft's $500 console, and Nintendo's like, our console was $300 to $350, and then they're like, oh yeah, but we're upcharging online, but no one gave a fuck about that. Nintendo's sitting over there like, we have free online. You want to hold the guy who's doing everything right to the higher standard, and he's over there broke because the higher standard doesn't get you shit, apparently, unless it's in like one specific area. So that's my whole thing. But yeah, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I just felt like that needed to be straightened out the right way because it became this completely different thing. And as I said, I don't give a fuck about saying names or not. I just wanted to make the point clear. That was the problem. Not this fucking Wii U weirdos can't let go of the Wii U. I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm not a Wii. I like my Wii U. I'm like, fine. I'm one of the few people who actually got the mileage out of the Wii U. I have what? I would say over 20 fucking games for the console. Over 20 games, a whole bunch of indie games, and a whole bunch of downloadable games. I got my $350 worth out of the console when I bought like 5 or 6 games. I got what I paid into the console. I know a lot of people didn't. That's understandable. So I understand the ports. You just got to understand the people's problems with the ports. And apparently that wasn't a thing. So hopefully this was educational to you. If not, I hope people got entertainment out of it for those who don't even know who the fuck these people are, which wouldn't surprise me considering neither one of them, well actually one of them doesn't even get over 100 views on most of his videos anyway. Alright, I'm gonna stop. That's the last bit of shade. Life's a game, play to win. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.